All right. If you can't hear me, just let me know, but I'm not a big fan of the mic. So just so you're not freaked out, we're getting broadcast all over the world. No, I'm kidding. This is a gentleman that's a student at UNT, and this is great stuff for us to be able to have people be able to do. So just, if you don't want to be on camera or you have a problem, just let me know and we can turn it off. But first off, thanks for having me. You know, when I go to coaches' clinics, I get really anxious usually before I go because, you know, I think I do a pretty decent job, and I try to go, okay, what am I going to learn today? Hopefully I can take something away, and it's not negative, it's positive. And if you feel like what we do today, I don't get something across, or you don't feel like I'm helping you a little bit, please fire away some questions at the end, okay? I want you to leave, at least maybe you got a different perspective. I don't have all the answers. Okay, and I don't do it the right way. And I've gone to a lot of clinics where people will tell you, hey, this is the way to teach passing. This is the way to teach setting. This is the only way to hit. This is the only way to serve. And I've listened to those people. My ego isn't that big. Okay, I think there's a lot of different ways. And maybe I had an advantage. Yeah, I got to play at a pretty high level. I got to see a lot of different things that weren't taught to me, but they're pretty dang effective. And what I tried to do today was, we have a little kids program at North Texas, and I brought my 12 and under team. So one thing that I'm a big believer in, and this was not how I started volleyball, because when I was coached, the coach ran every drill, and they were a machine. I mean, hitting thousands of balls, top spin perfect, could chip looking behind their head, and it landed right. I mean, it was incredible. And they ran every drill, and that's how I was coached. And as I kind of evolved, I noticed that I was yelling from the end line to kids, 60 feet away the whole time. And I watched some other people, and so you'll notice today, almost every drill that we'll do, I have the kids run. And I do that for a couple reasons. One is so it frees me up to coach. Okay, the second reason is that I want them to get as many contacts as they can. I'm old. It doesn't help me do any good if I can frickin' get another 1,000 swings in. Okay, it doesn't get us any better. And I can look real good in warm-ups and hit this ball, and boy, it looks cool, but it's not going to help us win. And that's really important. So a lot of the things that we'll do when they're running the drills, you'll notice we'll talk a little bit about when they throw. Hey, this is the same thing as an arm swing. Get your elbow up high. This translates when you serve, when you hit. Hey, when you do things, call the ball. And you'll see as we go through here that there's a reason why we do it that way. And again, it's not the right way. I was pretty good when I played, and I got coached by somebody that administered every ball. It worked out, okay? But I just think, again, maybe there's another way to look at it. And we're going to try to do that with these guys, okay? You can look at your sheet. I put a couple things down here. Not that a lot of you care, but I will give you just a brief history. When I took the job at North Texas, they weren't very good. Division I athletics, if you don't win, you get fired. They made a coaching change. It wasn't a popular one, I'm sure, but I went into an environment where it wasn't very positive. I wasn't going in and taking over Texas's team that was in the Elite Eight or a Final Four team. And so there were some obstacles that I had to overcome. And a couple things that I just wrote down there for you was having a philosophy, having a coaching philosophy, whatever it is. But I think you've got to know what you're teaching and what's important to you. And for me, when I took the job, it was really interesting because I didn't have a lot of kids that could grab the rim like Hebron did 2 years ago or last year, okay? I didn't have a lot of these athletic kids. So I decided, okay, what am I going to do? I mean, this is bad. I'm not at Kansas anymore where every kid touched over 10 feet, and I mean, boy, we were lucky. So what I came up with was my brand of volleyball. And what I wanted to do was be able to change things, hopefully the day that I got the job, and make an impact. And two things that I really preached to the team was defensive effort, having relentless defensive effort, and having great communication. Because those two things, you didn't need to touch 10 feet. You didn't need to hit the ball straight down. You didn't need to do a lot of the athletic things. And I felt like we could be pretty good. Because the reality of it is, in women's volleyball, unless the ball is set right on top of the net, and even when it's on top of the net, you can dig the ball. That's the reality of it. Girls don't hit the ball that hard. Yes, some do. You have a gal that was pretty good, okay? That was one player in how many years? So I was like, hey, we could probably still be competitive without having maybe the kids that can touch the rim. okay? So that was what I was really preaching to them, and I got some buy-in because I could demonstrate that in a pit drill or a defensive drill where they had great effort and they kept the ball off the floor and the other side of the net made an error. We got a point. We didn't do anything. And you know the rules now with some of the refs, some of them swallow the whistle because they don't want to call anything. So you could do anything to the ball. And on defense, you can do anything. You can kick it, you can punch it. It's not a technique, it's just an attitude. And that was something when I got the job I really tried to ingrain in them. And it's been a little bit of a process. The last thing there on that bullet point is just effort, attitude, expectation, standard. You know, I challenge my girls every day that your effort and your attitude are something that you wake up in the morning and decide. And I talk a lot about trying to get maybe 1% better. And in the morning, you're going to make a decision, am I going to get better today or am I not? You're in control of that. And it's been really interesting to see just our gym culture evolve because I took a job where I inherited a team, just like you all do. You can't trade kids, right? We're not in the professional leagues like Coach was here. We can't trade players, all right? We can't do those things. They weren't going to let me just kick off all the kids on my team. So I had to inherit them. And it's been really interesting now that all of the kids that are in the program are kids that I've recruited. And it's not good or bad, it's just different. But the standard has been set pretty high of, hey, if a ball hits the ground, there's going to be a consequence. That's not defensive effort. That's not relentless pursuit. And I really feel that I know some of you, I've watched a lot of your high school teams play, that some of those things are obviously already instilled, and especially if you have a program where you've been there. But, you know, you just took over a new program, so, hey, maybe there's something there. Or I think it'll be interesting for some of the people that are at a younger level. It fascinated me what these guys can do. 12 years old. And it was a challenge for me every day to go to practice with them to push the envelope. And you can ask, because I've had, my assistant coaches, the people that run the program, okay, not me, I'm just the spokesperson. This is, go ahead, I'll give them.
I'm going into my second year coaching here.
And I'm Diego Castaneda. I'm also going into my second year in North Texas.
Yeah, they're the ones that actually run the program. I'm just the spokesperson. They do everything. So, but it was a great challenge, and it's funny because they and my players saw our practice. And they're going, you're running the same dang drills that you ran at practice with the college kids today. Yeah, I want to see if they can do it. And it was incredible that they don't know what was going on. They were good kids. They did what I asked them to do. And it was impressive that they didn't know that they're not supposed to do things because they're 12. And it was really interesting for me to just watch that evolve. And it'll be cool when we get doing some drills here because I think you'll be like, holy cow, why can they? No, it's okay. It's pretty neat. All right, team warm-up. I know when I played, we jogged, right? Get around, jog in a circle for 15 minutes, maybe do a couple of these, loosen it up a little bit. I got in positions where I had basketball on the front end and back end of my practice. So there's no way I was going to waste time running. That just doesn't make sense. And even I know it was real popular about 6-8 years ago that we all do these, right? We get into this crazy dynamic warm-up and all these things. And yes, I think there's a time and place for that. But for me, if I can't serve the ball consistently in or pass the ball off the net, you're going to lose. So even though we look great in warm-ups and we do all these, I'm not going to waste time doing that. And again, I'm not right. I'm just sharing with you my thoughts on some of these things as I go through and coach, and when I've coached, things that I've kind of changed or altered as I've gone about this. So I want to touch the ball. And we do several things in our gym that are either cooperative, where we're going for a number, or then we go into a competitive setting. And we'll start with that today, okay? So girls, why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll get into this.
Hi, I'm Caroline.
Where do you go to school, Caroline?
I go to Harpole Middle School.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 6th grade.
6th grade, okay, that's nice.
Hi, I'm Cameron. I go to Oakland Elementary in 5th grade. Hi, I'm Elena. I go to Rogers Middle School and I'm in 6th grade. Hi, I'm Kendall. I go to McMath Middle School and I'm in 6th grade. Hi, I'm Caroline. I go to Lily Christian School and I'm in 6th grade. Hi, I'm Lucy Martin. I'm in 6th grade at McMath Middle School. Hi, I'm Bailey. I go to Lake Dallas Middle School and I'm in 6th grade.
Yeah, all right, okay. And one thing that really frustrates me, as it does you, is the state that communication is in in our world right now because everybody wants to do this. And so I don't know if you noticed, but they've been programmed a little bit that they've got to, hey, Caroline, nice to see you today. Yeah, hey, but get out of there, get in here. Okay, but we've made a big point of it, and that's not just with the club kids, but anything we do, well, why don't you guys show our formalized, if you've never met somebody.
Hi, I'm Cameron. Hi, I'm Kendall. I go to
Yeah, they don't know where they go to school, okay? I usually text it to them so they know where they went, but yeah, okay. But it was one thing that really bothered me, just nobody could look at somebody in the eye and have a conversation with it. It drove me freaking nuts. And so instead of complaining about it, I was going to do something about it. We make a huge point of learning how to communicate. And just the self-confidence, it's amazing, and you'll see tonight, just it's changed for some of them, okay, which has been really neat for me to see because, and we'll still work with some of them communicating louder, huh, Elena? Yeah, okay. Okay, and it's good because I can use volleyball to help that. And you'll see, we'll let nobody else talk except Elena today in a drill. And that we're going to force her. Yeah. It's not the first time, okay? I'm kidding, Elena, you're the best. But it's just been really, the communication thing for me has been really, it's really bothered me. And I'm sure it bothers you as you teach too because the phones are in their pockets and we can't have a conversation. And I'll talk more at the end just about dealing with that with the team, what I've tried to do, and I don't know if it's helped. All right.